Another one of our strong supporters and formers of PSTC is Jon Mirsalis, and he's going to give a presentation now, a video recorded presentation. Jon is the Vice President of Translational Development at SRI, and still a very active member of the advisory committee for PSTC. Laura, could you play the video?
Hi, I'm Jon Mirsalis, Vice President of Translational Development at SRI International and one of the charter members of the PSTC Advisory Committee. SRI is a nonprofit research institute founded in 1946 that spun out of Stanford University and was originally called Stanford Research Institute. We've been at the bleeding edge of innovation for decades, having invented the computer mouse, internet domain names, Siri for the iPhone, ultrasound imaging, robotic surgery, and 4 currently marketed drugs. In early 2004, we were approached by the University of Arizona about participating in several potential opportunities in Tucson that ranged from building a branch of our facility in a proposed new biotech park, to joint educational programs between SRI and U of A, to a new nonprofit research institute addressing some of the challenges to drug development outlined in the 2004 Critical Path document authored by the FDA. I made several trips to Tucson to meet with U of A faculty and community leaders about these deals. In early discussions with U of A, it became clear that they had very ambitious plans for multiple projects that probably exceeded the resources and bandwidth available. In a meeting with Peter Likens, then president of U of A, and Ray Woosley, then dean of the College of Medicine, I said, "This is probably more than you could possibly get done. So what is your top priority?" Ray and Peter looked at each other and said, "I guess the nonprofit." And that's how the Critical Path Institute took its first steps out of the gate. My involvement at that stage was simply as interested onlooker until June of 2004 at the Bio Meeting in San Francisco, where I joined a lunch meeting that Ray Woosley, several people from the Tucson community, and Janet Woodcock of the FDA all attended. They were discussing what the makeup of a new institute would look like. Janet said something along the lines of, "No offense, Ray, but University of Arizona is a fine academic institution, but doesn't have enough expertise in the actual drug development process. You need to find someone else, an independent third party, who would be viewed as a neutral, non-pharma partner in this. Ideally, it would be a nonprofit, someone like SRI." Everyone at the table turned and looked at me, and that's how SRI became the third party in the formation of c-path. It took months to work out all the details, but we eventually attended a signing party and dinner, and our then CEO, Kurt Carlson, and I attended for SRI. Shortly after c-path was formed, I got a call from Jeff Jacobs, who was bouncing ideas off several people for a consortium that would address the need for improved safety biomarkers, one of the clear needs spelled out in the FDA Critical Path document. I don't believe the PSTC name had been coined yet, but the idea was getting a number of pharma companies to join a consortium and work together to share data, animal models, and clinical samples to come up with the next generation of safety biomarkers. The idea that ferocious marketplace competitors would actually sit down and share their proprietary safety data was revolutionary and, frankly, a little crazy. Jeff asked if SRI would participate, and I thought this would fit well with a number of our NIH-funded drug development programs, so I agreed, having absolutely no idea what I was getting into. By the time PSTC formally came together in mid-2005, SRI was the odd duck member of the consortium that wasn't an actual member company. And some of the members just asked bluntly, "Why is SRI here?" But we were able to leverage some of our NIH contracts to conduct animal studies and share samples between labs. An important interlab publication on new cardiac biomarkers done between SRI, Eli Lilly, and Pfizer became part of the basis of new cardiac biomarker qualifications. We had access to cynomolgus macaques to run studies on tobramycin for the nephrotoxicity working group, and more recently, we ran a large animal study to support the testicular toxicity working group. Being a part of PSTC has been an exciting adventure. It was that rare case where basic research, applied safety testing, and regulatory policy all intersected. At times, it looked like a busy intersection where all the traffic lights have gone out, leaving a mess of cars all pointed in opposing directions. But other times, PSTC has advanced the science from the lab bench into regulatory policy. The initial FDA-approved panel of renal biomarkers has fundamentally changed how we look at kidney toxicity. I currently run the drug safety program for all anti-infective drugs for the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. New antibiotics are a major part of that portfolio, and kidney toxicity is the most common target organ effect of these compounds. The PSTC biomarkers have been a game changer for our ability to detect nephrotoxic compounds earlier in development and to gain better mechanistic understanding of the safety of these classes of drugs. Being part of PSTC has been invaluable to SRI in a number of ways. Getting an advanced look at where the field of biomarkers is heading certainly gives us a competitive advantage in tailoring our research programs and study designs to better predict drug safety. Some of the collaborative projects we've been involved in have also given us access to multiple laboratories for assays that are not yet commercially available. In some of our early cardiac marker studies, we were sharing samples with half a dozen companies who ran their proprietary assays and reported results back to us. And to be blunt, there's a certain amount of prestige that comes with being a PSTC member, being part of the consortium that is helping to shape the future of FDA regulatory policy on drug safety. I've been most impressed over the years with how this diverse array of member companies, who all compete with each other aggressively in the marketplace, work together to solve common problems that affect their industry. The idea that Jeff Jacobs had, that at the time I thought was kind of nuts, really did pay off, because the scientists from those companies all have cooperated in advancing the science. Other companies who are in the business of addressing drug safety in both non-clinical and clinical models should consider how much membership in PSTC could assist them in their drug discovery and development programs. In closing, I want to congratulate c-path and the entire PSTC team on 15 years of significant scientific and regulatory contributions. It's been a great decade and a half, and I look forward to continuing collaborations with the group for years to come. Thank you.